Hi, I'm Jay and this is Vroom Vroom. Welcome back to the channel and another video on the Vulcan. It's been quite a challenging video. If you haven't done already, please subscribe. It's absolutely free, costs you nothing, absolutely zilch. And please like the video at the end if you can, it all helps. So enjoy the video. Good enough to bear with me with this one. I have done some more checks and there's a couple of things with this that I've noticed. One is that I think when I put the gasket on for this engine panel on this side, engine cover, I think I've crimped it because there is definitely a leak there, and I've done everything I can do to get in there to see what it is, and it does look like it's coming from the actual mating face. So that's gonna have to come off. But the milky oil, I'm hoping I'm not stretching into this, but we'll have to see. The coolant, when I took the radiator off, even though the radiator was knackered, was which is down there at the moment. I'm meant to get a new one in a couple of days from China. I'm not overly confident it's going to arrive. Just something tells me that it's not coming. But the coolant that I took out was spotless, brand new, and very, very green. The oil water mix inside the engine just doesn't look to me like it's come from the antifreeze, because the antifreeze was clean, and I know we had a couple of really heavy storms just before I got this bike, and I am thinking that water's got into the engine that way, perhaps just the way it sits on its side, and where the hole was in the engine, which was very accessible to water, could just mean that it was just pooling up in the bottom. So I'm going to pull the oil out now, then I'm going to do the gasket, and then I'm going to refill it with oil, just crap oil, flush it out. But if that crap oil comes out a lot better than what I'm taking out the first time round, then we'll know we're on a winner. So I'll let you see that when I pull it out, but I just need to go and grab a container. Right, so I'm holding this, so it's not going to be pretty, but bear with me. Oh, I don't want to get dirty hands. Okay, I am there. Oh, look at that. That is not nice. Pure white sludgy sludge. Don't like that. Right, let's drain it out and get on with the next job of taking that cover off again and having another look inside to see what's going on. So yeah, I caught that was just not sitting on the mating face properly. My fault completely. I thought I'd done it when I was putting it in, but it's just one of those things. But you can see how milky the oil is inside, and I'm still hopeful with this. I'm going to just check around by the water bottle, just make sure there's no other damage in there. I did look as much as possible. The water bottle is a pain to get out. Actually, it might be okay to get out now I've removed that side cover, but yeah, completely my fault, and I'm not going to make that mistake again. I'm going to instant gasket it in and use an RTV instead of a paper gasket. So yes, that's kind of where we are. So fingers crossed everything will still be okay. I need to ride this bike, so today is just going to be about starting to put it back together. The radiators that I've ordered, I ordered one from China. I terminated the order because they said it'd be 2 weeks before they could even start to ship it. So I went on eBay, found another one for a similar price from China, and they've said the same thing. Because of Chinese New Year, I've got to wait 2 weeks. So that limits my options. So what I am going to do is I am going to rad weld the old radiator. It's not, the bike's not going anywhere, and it won't be until the new radiator arrives, but it'd be nice just to be able to take it around the block. So I'm going to do that without the radiator. I will button it up with the old radiator sometime next week, just so I can start to just make sure there's nothing else that's missing, and that the yeah, the cooling system's okay, and then I can start on the front fork, which I need to order, and I think that's it. I think that's the last thing. Oh no, it's one more thing I need to order. What I noticed was, as I was fettering about, this on this side is missing and it's broken there, so that whole plastic frame cover needs to be ordered. Unfortunately, the only ones I've seen on eBay come in pairs, and I think it was about 35 quid for two of them, for the two. So not the end of the world, but it's another outlay on a bike that's already cost a hell of a lot of money in parts. The tank is in the house at the moment, just keeping warm before I spray it. I'm waiting for the paint to arrive, which should be here hopefully Monday, and then I'm going to makeshift a personal spray booth just to get that done. So that's that bit done. So what I need to do today is get the to ride it, I need to redo up the forks and put the gear change linkage on down there, as well as just put the water bottle back in the correct place and tighten up the rear sprocket for the chain, because I undone that obviously when I was replacing the engine parts. So that's where we are. I reckon I can probably get this ready to ride in about half an hour. So I will just start getting some bits together. Already it's starting to look a lot better. I've started to put the side panels back on and seats back in, and the tank is secure now. A lot to do, and you may wonder why I'm doing this, because it's all got to come apart again, but I just need to know if there's anything else that I'm missing here. Really do. And I mean, look how well that back wheel's come up. It's just been sitting for a long time, this bike. Side panels are going back on. I also need to, I got distracted while I was taking it apart and committed the cardinal sin of just not making piles of where I was putting the bolts, and they kind of went everywhere because it's taken off in small increments. So yeah, I'm on a bolt finding mission, but it is getting there. So what's next? Yeah, a couple more bits to button up. Still got to put the gear linkage on, and that's it. Oh, I'm keeping warm today. Right, just been for the first ride on the Vulcan. Started up rail, gone well. Obviously there's no radiator in it, so I couldn't go too far. The thing that was missing was the bolts that hold on the gear lever and footrest on the left hand side, so I've had to improvise, which wasn't brilliant. So because I couldn't get second gear, because I've used a exhaust stud as one of the ones, which is just poking out. Probably sit better like that, and it was stopping the gear change from going into second gear. So I'd first but not second, but then I didn't really want to go too far because the forks are still bent, but you know what, pulled well. Everything I wanted from it was great, so I can't really complain about that. All the bits have gone back together. Yes, I still have nuts and bolts left, but the front fender, as you call it in the USA, or mudguard in the UK as we are, is obviously still off, and there's a few bits around the cowling for the light, because I just wanted to make sure that the side light was working, because it didn't look like it was, and I've just remembered to check that, so I'm going to do that in a second. So next job's on this now. Find a bloody bolt that fits that, and I've looked everywhere, and then yeah, order the forks, because it's ready for the forks. And then I'm going to repair the old radiator. I'm going to do it. In fact, I should do it now. Get some liquid metal on there now. Just grind it back a bit. Very short-term solution, but it's definitely, yeah, lovely. I really need to start making some progress now with this Vulcan. So the tank has been yeah, decaled. The Kawasaki stickers are now off of it, and I have filled and sanded that down, so it's just had a first dust coat of gloss black. It's going to get another coat in a minute, and then we'll get on with the lacquer, but it's going okay so far, so we'll track this as it goes. I'm not a painter, which you may have guessed, but it should look quite nice when it's done. We'll see what happens. So this has just had a first coat of well, first good coat of black, and I'm one can down already. There's a small bit to do on the cowling for the headlight as well, which I've got there, which just had a first coat. So yeah, it's going okay. It's never going to be paint shop quality, of course it's not, but it will, I think, look very nice, especially with the decals that I've got, which are quite extensive over the tank. So the tank doesn't have to be necessarily as nice as it would be if you was just sticking Kawasaki in small letters down the side of it. So yeah, that's coat 2, and that's one can down, so it needs another good coat at least, and we'll see where it goes from there. So I wasn't 100% happy with that last coat. It went on okay, it's just that there was a few imperfections in the paint. So what I've done is I've given it a very light wet sand down with some very fine wet and dry. So I'm going to give it a final coat over now with some more gloss black, and then we'll be ready for the lacquer and see how that sticks on. So overall I think the coverage has been brilliant. It's starting to take shape. So yeah, and from someone who hasn't got a body shop or body shop background and just doing this, you know, as somebody who just wants to learn, then yeah, we'll see how the next coat goes on, and then yeah, I've got a nice lacquer to put on. So last coat is on. It went on quite well, so we'll wait for that to go off a bit, and then we'll start with the lacquer. The lacquer that I'm going to be using is a 2K clear lacquer. It's one of the ones you have to sort it out at the bottom and give it a really good mix. I've used it before and I had some very good results, so hopefully we'll get the same again today. We'll just have to wait and see. Fingers crossed. First coat's gone on, and yeah, it's gone on good. Obviously with wet sand afterwards it's going to look a lot better, but I'm quite pleased with that. That's actually not bad at all. So yep, another coat and we'll see where we are. So it's been roughly 24 hours since this was sprayed, and as you can see, it's looking all right. It's not had a wet sand yet, and it will do, but I am very pleased for that out of a can. That is, well, I couldn't have asked for better. So a wet sand, a polish, and that will be absolutely brilliant. So yes, was worried about it, but yeah, job's a good one. So I've just been going around and giving it a bit of a mop, and that's the tank. Yeah, how good is it? Well, it's definitely passable, and it's looking quite good, and I'm really pleased with that. I mean, it's got the stickers to go onto it, but I wanted it to look quite nice anyway. So yeah, it's just say that it exceeded all my expectations, because I wasn't expecting too much from it. There's still a couple of marks I just need to get to mop off, but yeah, yeah. I'm pleased. I don't know what to say. I'm so happy. That's so cool. Right, so yeah, I'm just going to do the other side of it now, and then we'll look at the stickers Right, so I've just been fettling about. I've got the sticker on the tank now, and yeah, it's looking good. There's a couple of very slight imperfections, which is tiny just on the edge, but nothing major there. So the started putting the side panels back on as well. Next are the tank decal. I'll film that. I'll try not to swear, but I can't promise anything. When that's done, then a couple more decals, a bit of the cleaning, and yeah, a little bit more oil as well. I measured the oil earlier and it's a little bit low, but it's looking a lot better than it was. No more milkshaky, which was really good. So it's definitely starting to look back to its former glory. So yes, let me get ready with the tank, and then we'll cut back in and see how we get on. So quick update on the Vulcan. I didn't like the other stickers on the tank, so I took them off and redone it. So the tank is now sprayed. Still needs a little bit of a polish. It's far from perfect, but it looks nice. So I'm very pleased with that. And I've just started putting some of the panels back on so I can get on with the next job. And yeah, we're kind of on the home straight now. The radiator has been dispatched, so I should have that soon. Seat's a bit wet because I was just wiping off some T-cut overspray. But we do have this now, which is the replacement forks. So next job now, get that fork off and get it replaced. Hopefully the parts they've sent me are the correct ones. We will see. Let's fingers crossed. Yeah, tank still needs a polish, but it's come up really nice compared to what it was, and it's definitely passable, and those side stickers do look very nice on it. So yeah, so jobs left to do. The fuel tank, fuel cap should be here early next week, which is going to be great. I think I'm probably going to have to wait another week and a half for the radiator, but that's fine. So it's get the front done, and then it's rideable at least, and I can just take it out, give it a ride, and then give it an oil change, try and get rid of that milky oil. And I noticed putting it backwards there was a slight bind on the front brake, so we'll have a look at that while it's off and just make sure that it's okay and not gritted up too much. That bike won't be here by the next video. Should be here, should be gone tomorrow, which is good news because I've had that a while. But yeah, market's not brilliant. So that's that on the Vulcan for now. So let's set you up and let's get this off. Right, so I've taken the liberty of just getting some stuff ready. As I mentioned, we're going to do the forks today, so it's just about loosening everything off before we lift up the front end, just to make our life a little easier. That's an unusual tool. Right, so with the correct tools, I probably need to break apart. Let's start this again. Undo the pinch nut. I've had the feeling this is going to be one of those days. Oh wow. I should have stuck the back ratchet on it. And with a little bit of gentle persuasion, off it comes. Time being, when I'm here, I'm just going to undo the caliper and we'll get that off into a safe place as well. I can find a safe place to jack the bike up. This really shouldn't be too much of a faff. Right, so it's helped massively that the oh my god. I've looked underneath and I think finding a decent jacking point is going to be a little bit of a challenge. That was a lot. That was a lot of messing about to find the right place for that jack. Well, I had a stuck bolt just on the indicator stalk and it was a pain to get out. And now as normal, I've got a tool down and can't find it. So right behind me. Right, because this is stuck, I'm going to have to give it a little bit of encouragement to come out. Hopefully without dropping the bike, which would be bad. With just a little bit of gentle persuasion, there it is. Beautiful. I'm knackered. So that's where we're going to leave it for now. I hope you enjoyed that. There was just so much to do on this bike. Hopefully there is light at the end of the tunnel, but there's still a long way to go. So until next time, stay safe.